Hi guys, we're on chapter 3, My Girl, of PSB 11. Big Ma and Pa had been circling around the airport to give her enough time to fetch us. That way, he wouldn't have to pay more than the law should allow to sit his car in an airport lot. The tan and black Wildcat crawled up to the curb, its growl low and tame. Vanetta and Fern hopped around as if the concrete below them was too hot to stand on. They flapped their arms crazily and shouted, "Papa, Papa!" before he got the car door open. There was nothing Big Ma could do about it with Pa right there, and I enjoyed that like I enjoyed a Mr. Goodbar all to myself. My feet, however, didn't dare leave the ground, nor did my arms rise up to fly with my sisters. All of the windows in Pa's car were cranked down, and Big Ma scolded, "It's your fault they're out of hand," shaking her pointer finger at her oldest son. My tears had long dried, but I wiped my face anyway. Pa swung the door, opened the door, and stepped out of the car. My heart leapt towards him. No one was as handsome as my father was, even when his face was long, plain, and sad, which was always. Today he looked chipper. I suppose from being glad to see us after all this time. Although I didn't jump all over him like Vanetta and Fern did, no one had missed him more than I. In Oakland, I saw pieces of Cecile and me, but I knew Pa had his stamp all over me, and I was happy to grow in his shade. I was first. He leaned down and kissed my cheek twice. If he tasted any salt on my face, he didn't say a word. I missed him so much that everything about him seemed new. The freshly cut growth that made the side of his face rough. His cool shaving cream smell, with something extra. Not perfume. Men didn't wear perfume. It was woodsier, like standing among Christmas trees. And his shirt was new. Robin's egg blue, short sleeve. Not worn and familiar like all the shirts I starched and ironed for him. Vanetta and Fern were busy jumping and squealing from being tickled by Pa, who usually left the playing around to Uncle Darnell. They didn't notice how new Pa looked. Big Ma noticed. Junior, she rarely called him that. "Stop all this carrying on in public." She looked around, expecting others to gawk and point at us Negroes carrying on. Folks cared more about their luggage, taxis, and hugging their own families. That didn't stop Big Ma from being embarrassed. Pa planted a kiss on Big Ma's cheek like he hadn't driven all the way from Brooklyn with her earlier. She bristled from him, both not liking it and liking it in spite of pushing him away. The bell captain blew his whistle for us to get a move on. Pa gave the three of us one more squeeze and loaded our suitcases in the trunk. "What's the matter, Delphine?" "Nothing, Papa." Big Ma chomped at the bit and couldn't be stopped. She was only too happy to report on me. "I'll tell you what the matter is," she began. "You sent them out in that piss pot of trouble, and now she's too big for her britches. As that one goes," she meant to point at me, but aimed out the backside of the window. "The other two will follow." Pa looked in the rearview mirror. My eyes caught his before falling into my lap. Our lessons on solidarity with Sister Macumbu at the People's Center hadn't gone for nothing. Vanetta came to my defense. "It's not Delphine's fault she knocked the white man's newspaper down." And Fern added, "It's not Delphine's fault that I had to, and the line was long." And then Vanetta. "And that's why she had to jump Fern ahead of all those people waiting. All those mad people with the Mickey Mouse ears. And the bathroom lady came. Talking about, look at all this mess. And you told her she had the mop, because you peed on the floor." Then Fern lurched across my lap and punched Vanetta in the arm. Vanetta socked Fern, and I pulled Vanetta off Fern. But Vanetta's fists were going like spinning bicycle spokes. And Big Ma yelled, stop it, you wild heathens." Then, to Papa, she said, "That's that Cecile in them." Like our mother was typhoid. "I tried to tell you." And then back to Vanetta and Fern. "Wait till I get you in the house. Just wait and see what I got for y'all." And since they had already witnessed how Big Ma hadn't spared me from a small taste of what was waiting for us, Vanetta and Fern pulled apart and settled down on both sides of me. "And you." Big Ma's hat and wig turned sideways because she couldn't turn her head all the way around while sitting up front next to Pa. "Wait. Just wait. I'm gonna beat the Oakland out of you. I I tell you not to go out there in public stirring up a grand Negro spectacle, and you make it your business to do exactly that. Don't know what the world's got its eyes on you, but an eyeful isn't enough. No, sir. You haul out the Amos and Andy show for all the spectators. Delphine, Vanetta, Fern, how many times must I tell you? They're always watching. Always. I prayed Vanetta and Fern knew when a question didn't call for an answer. It's that no mothering mother, Big Ma went on. Ma, Pa interrupted, probably to keep her from talking about Cecile. Your blood pressure. To that, Big Ma gave a spit sound without actually spitting. My pressure don't kill me, these children will. Pa sighed. It sounds like Delphine had to get Fern to the toilet and Fern couldn't hold it, he said. He was calm while the wildcat went back to rumbling. Surely couldn't, Fern said. That's why you hit everything but the toilet bowl, Vanetta said. And before they started up, I gave them my own evil eye, and Fern muffled, she started it. Big Ma and Pa said to Pa, Junior, there's a right way to go about things and a wrong way. Wrong will get that gal strung up, mark my words. We're in Brooklyn, Ma. Another spit sound, Brooklyn, Alabama. You still have to carry yourself just to get by. Vanetta and Fern had stopped poking at each other. Vanetta said, I didn't start it, but I'm ending it, and stuck out her tongue. Fern couldn't get back at the Mousketeers who had stuck their tongues out at her, but only one person separated her from Vanetta. Fern tried to kick Vanetta, but ended up kicking me, and then Pa said a hard and firm but not loud, all right, girls. And that put an end to that all. My knee throbbed. Traffic on the Belt Parkway kept us in Queens longer than Pa had planned. The drive to Brooklyn seemed to go better if no one spoke. We all took the hint, including Big Ma, but we were all thinking about something. A white woman had spoken to Big Ma about me. I resigned myself to seeing lightning in the whipping of a lifetime. A whipping that would outdo my last whipping at age 9 for letting Vanetta and Fern get into the grape jelly. They dropped and broke the glass jar and had grape jelly and glass everywhere, when I should have been watching them. At least the short brunette stewardess didn't show up to report how we ran away from her. The wildcat crouched, leapt, and then sat along the Belt Parkway in spurts. Silence had given way to yawning, and then Big Ma, Vanetta, and Fern napped. They slept hard and didn't stir when the quiet got broken up by the Temptations. Not the singers in matching suits spinning snapping fingers into one loud pop from the radio, just one of the Temptations' tunes, whistling Clearwater Cool through Pa's lips. I heard all the words and instruments, complete with the stereo highs and the bass lows to My Girl, fluting out of his long but happy face. That is the end of chapter 3.